Shashemene, Ethiopia, Nyahbinghi HQ. There she is. There she is. Restart the stream?
No.
The thing needs to be pulled back. The projector needs to... Right. But this needs to be pulled back. Yeah. yeah, of course.
See their picture, make their picture big on the screen.
Right.
Make it full size.
The problem is not even the laptop, it's how close the projector
No,
is.
you see, right, hold on, look.
There's three things.
It's fine, they've done it. They've done what I'm asking.
Okay, I thought you meant make the
To make the
fit the
thing
screen.
big, yes, yeah, full screen.
Make their picture bigger.
Because they're about like half a foot missing at the bottom. Alright.
I pray thee. One voice.
I can't do nothing about that.
One voice.
I can't do nothing
One
about that.
voice. One
can't-
voice. One voice. I pray thee. Yeah, greetings, brethren and sisters. Greetings. Last side the first. Rastafari. It's a great honor and pleasure to be here celebrating the continuation of the Battle of Adwa and the defeat of the colonial powers 1958 by the Maroons and Kojo. And also, it is good and pleasant to see I and I dwelling together in unity, which is long overdue. But before I go forward to allowing the brethren in Jamaica, our Honorable Prophet Greg of the Eadumc, which stands for the Ethio-Africa Diaspora Millennium Council, which is the central body founded in Jamaica by my beloved brethren, them, especially the Honorable Bonnie Wheeler and the rest of Rashes who were with him at that time. We also honor our nine brethren who live here with us, Brother Rak Galala, who was the transmitter of the energy from that side to this side, of which now energized I, so I and I could become I and I, and I and I, and I and I. Oneness. So, I'm going to ask the Honorable Priest to step forward from either the Bingi house or the Bubba house, the house of priests. We are all priests, but we know the order set. The order is set. So, can I ask an honorable priest to step forward from the Bingi house or from the Bubba house to step forward and bless the occasion? Selassie. You can have more than one prayer, man. You know, everyone comes up. You know, one prayer. Give it up. Give it up. Selassie. Yeah. We have to get it right this time now. We have to get it right this time. So, it's set. Our order is set. We have a priest in the house. A priest to step forward and bless it. And then I and I bless it together. Priest Kenny, could I do the favor and the honor of stepping forward? If it's black up prayer, yeah, black up prayer. Yeah, let the priest bless it. Black it first, and then I and I black together. Royal family, bless the Lord. Thanks to the honor, give thanks to the moment, give thanks to the glory, glory on your life. Yeah. Alright. Well, usually within our house, when we stand, we usually face to the east. Yes. But of course, with understanding, I will interpret no one. Yes, sir. There. I and I personally will turn to the east, and I will call for a reverend, and one will pray from their hearts. So I and I give thanks. Ease in this direction. Yes, sir. I and I personally, one can feel free. We are free. Thanks to the great God. Nigga side. Call for a reverend. in the courts of mighty King David, four winds universal earth can see. Most high, Rastafari, will be from Father and to the Son and to the Holy One of creation. As Jah was in the beginning, is now and ever shall be, the world without end. Rastafari, urging the treetop singing, exalting the name of the Most High God. Give thanks to the Father and the Mother of creation, with us in flesh, the life giver and the keeper of life. For as the mountains are round about Jerusalem, so is the presence of the Black Christ with us. His love and his majesty, his purity and his mercy, his wisdom endureth forever. Give thanks to the black man and the black woman kingdom. Unity and oneness and love and joy and harmony bring us together. I and I, Celestia, I shall make mention of Rahab and Babylon to them that know I. For behold, Philistia entire with Ethiopia, behold with Ethiopia, for this man was born there, and it shall be said that of Zion, Ethiopia, this man was born there, that man was born there, and the highest himself, the Lord of hosts, the Almighty God shall establish her. Holy Emmanuel, guide us in unity, guide us in oneness, brotherly and sisterly love, going forward to rise the standard of Haile Selassie in the highest region, in Mount Zion, Ethiopia. One love, righteousness of salvation. King Selassie, one perfect love, with the love and a rubber. In the eyes. Glory to word, glory to song, glory to power. Glory to the mother of creation, Mama Yashima Betale. Born to her, a child is born. Born to her, a son is given. And the government rests upon his shoulder. I and I hail in this time, and for aliens! And I, brothers and sisters of the Nyahbinghi, to uphold the God man concept. Rastafari is Almighty Yah, who sitteth in Zion, and reigns in the hearts of all flesh. O thou most high, eternal Father, Yah, is the last year. Hey, I and I, bless I and I, keep I and I, and sanctify and I all. Cast thy holy face to shine upon I and I, thy children. So I and I shall be saved and redeemed, O thou most high. Hallelujah! Rastafari. For life, for love, for the gathering, giving thanks. Rastafari. I and I from the 12th tribe of Israel, the black I and I prayers now, but I and I face in the north. No, the north is that way. City of the great king. Give thanks to oneness. Jah! Yes, I and I say, for the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness. But unto us who are saved is the power of God. For that reason we say, in the name of our Father, His Son, and the Holy One of creation. As Jah was in the beginning, now and ever shall be, a world without end, Selah. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory, forever and ever. Hide the words of our mouth, and the meditation of our heart. Be acceptable in thy sight, O God, our strength and our redeemer, who liveth and reigneth in the heart of all. Give thanks, Father. Yes, I died my tabati. Give thanks to you.
I'm sorry about the light here, but I didn't realize what was happening. I think it was just left there, you know?
No,
I didn't realize it was working.
okay. No worries, sister.
All right, fire. So the man still out, the man them still hold the drum in, and him phone is where my youth is send us on. So we are going to listen to them, and then by that time, we'll be up. So he's the opening.
Just give you a little tour around the Bingi quarters. And I'll try to walk a little bit slower. I just had watermelon, looking to throw my line somewhere. We'll have a fast breakdown. Let's see. So we're just getting ready to start the actual program. Even beautiful. I hear it starting now, so I'll head back.
Yes, one perfect love and greetings. As the 130th anniversary going forward, Battle of Adwa. We are here gathered in unification for the purpose of continuity, where the victory, good over evil, right over wrong, and ever right over might. So as we move forward into I&I program, we, at this point at time, will turn things over to a brief blessed and greeting. All the I&I within the settings of this wonderful unification. So I invite now Sister Maxine So, so come forward as our international consultant and even give a wonderful introduction to members of the JRDC gathered for this grand occasion. One perfect love. Mr. Maxi. Blessed greetings.
Yes, blessed greetings to all in Jamaica and in Ethiopia. I'm speaking to you from New York as I coordinate on behalf of Eadumc with the JRDC board in presenting this launch. So first, I'll introduce or have the introductions of the Eadumc members that are in Jamaica. So if each person could just come up and make a presentation of yourself. We can start with Brother Kremlin, the chair of Eadumc.
In the name of the
You can move back a bit, Kremlin. Yeah, right there's good. Yeah.
Well, I'm very happy and glad to be here on this occasion, celebrating the victory of Adwa, and also the concern of the Ethiopian people and the Rastafari Millennium Council and their first attempt and the MOE. So I give thanks unto the Ethiopian people and the Ethiopian brethren, sisters, sons and daughters, strength and honor, and I hope this MOE will be a very great and good successful movement. So give thanks again, Rastafari, and all his pride and glory. Africa love, give thanks.
Yeah. Prophet Greg.
Yes. Blessed love and greetings to all ones in the name of the Most High, Christ, Celestial Jah, Rastafari, we give thanks for the balance and president in aspect within the coronation glory, man and woman living in righteousness of salvation. Yeah, man, we do give thanks for this wonderful occasion of the signing and the launching of the MOU, linking up Ethiopia, linking up Jamaica over land and sea. The coordination is right, the coordination is now, the alignment is sure within the heavens and even on the earth. So we just do give thanks for this auspicious occasion going through. Prophet Greg, Executive Director of Eadumc, definitely moving on with this continuity, and do give thanks for this wonderful gathering from Earth to Zion, the Dunno from Jamaica to Ethiopia, Shashemene. 4 wings, one perfect love, blessed love and greetings to all.
Raskush.
Priest.
Priest Brown. Sorry.
Greetings, royal family. Give thanks for the union of love in this season of victory, advocacy and victory, as I continue the trend. The path of victory. Give thanks for the union of Eadumc and the JRDC uniting Earth and Zion. And I give thanks for such platform wherein we can now take integral steps in liberating ourselves and to bring in more clarity to our people. So, and I do give thanks to be here this morning to be part of this bonding and look forward to a great development. My Lord and Empress. Priest Brown, you know, Minister Angel, you know. My Lord.
That's right.
Represent First Word.
And I do give thanks. I first word, give one God of June, one God of church, one God of government of all the slaves of the earth. From that time to the end of the new, give thanks. One perfect of an house, frequency in a kind of vibration, 9 meter, Monday to the number one. Rastafari, this last one is give thanks. No love, no wrath, no spirit, no terror.
Yeah. So let's see.
Yes, and we have Empress Pet with us. Brother, yes. Ian Chen Pushai.
Eli Selassie. Jah Rastafari. Blessed to the Ethiopian family. Rastafari live on me. And I give thanks for this day. You know? I would like it to continue. Rastafari, blessed. Lord.
Thanksgiving.
Blessed day. One love, my sister. And Empress Beth. Blessed love. One love. I came here to give thanks and praise to the Most High. So it's them forevermore. Blessed.
Thanks again, Empress and Niger here, giving thanks for the battle of Adwa, victory. You know, Ethiopia has never been conquered, and you know, we come conquering to conquer in this time. So we are giving thanks for the Ethiopians, those at home and us abroad. So perfect love, perfect guidance.
That's over to you. Let's love and greetings all again. Give thanks.
Yes, so, Brother Sidney, if you could make your introduction.
Oh, you might pay for the labor. You can marry them.
You have to turn off the.
I am in this.
Yeah, beloved brethren, greetings. I greet you in that sweet, precious name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christus. Jesus Christus, who is this day revealed to I and I in that wonderful personality of Emperor Selassie the First of Ethiopia, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah, elect of God, and true light in this very dark world. I also greet you through the Orthodox faith, which is not one of which not right, but the pure function of man's heart. It's acquired through a mystical incorporation of unity in one with God, in plain words, born again, change your heart, change your mind. I greet you also to the 12th tribe of Israel, who were once lost and scattered abroad, and who are now regathering. First started in the island of Jamaica by our dearly beloved prophet Dr. Vernon Carrington, Prophet God. We gathering the people to Africa, Ethiopia, more specifically, Shashemene. I also greet you to the Jamaican Rastafarian Development Community of Shashemene, legal entity for all mansions of Rastafari in Shashemene, founded by our ancients in the past from the different mansions them that live here, and saw it fitting that the Jrdc would and could represent I and I here in Ethiopia on a legal basis, especially that of status and also development. It's a great honor for me to be here tonight, speaking on behalf of the honorable mansions here in Shashemene, who have been holding this land for years.
making their bodies, mind and spirit as a living sacrifice, holding it for our brethren and sisters, universal, holding it for them to come home. And we see now, at this point in time of our union, we see the earth going in a direction that was prophesied long time ago. The nations are raging, the Eden are raging, and imagining vain things. Yet still, he who sitteth in the heavens is laughing, for he shall have them in derision. So it is not a light thing that we are here today, bringing all of this together. It's long overdue. Long overdue. And we give thanks to the Almighty God of the heaven and earth and of all humanity to be able to bring us together in that one spirit and one unity. The Jrdc, as I mentioned, is a legal entity that covers us and was an inspiration of the elders. And in moving forward with the Jrdc, our main objective at this point is status and development, of which we have managed through the years to acquire our national ID and status here. We have also managed to run a primary school from infancy to primary standard. And we are very proud of this because we have educated many of the young Ethiopians here and who are now out there in the society playing their part and being productive. We also give thanks for what we have accomplished through the social welfare section in taking care of our elders, taking care of the children, assisting in hospital visitation, and so much more to do. This Millennium Council, founded in Jamaica, stands as an inspiration, not only just an inspiration, but a foundation on which Rastafari Global can stand on. Our intellectual property rights have long been exploited, abused, and worst of all, denying the children of the Most High, Jah Rastafari. Yes, denying his children of their development. So we give thanks to the founders, again, the Honorable Bonnie Wheeler, and the many others who stood up with this council. And we look forward to moving in a forward and positive way, achieving our aspirations and to take us straight into the 2030 centenary of His Imperial Majesty coronation, which is a huge milestone for I and I. I commend Prophet Greg and Sister Maxine Stowe for the wonderful work they have done and are still doing. I feel safe. I feel safe in the hands of the Almighty, and I feel safe in the hands of Prophet Greg and Sister Maxine. I feel safe. I also give thanks to Brother Ras Jalala, like an archangel, came and brought this, like him fly upon the wings of the morning and come in and bring this together to I and I. Jah Rastafari. One perfect love, beloved brethren. One perfect love. That is all the JRDC have to say at this moment. Selassie.
speakers up?
Yes, give thanks. Yeah, give thanks for that introduction from Brother Sydney. This has been a very inspiring journey, and we look forward to a lot more fruit. So we go now to the official introduction of the MOU through Prophet Greg.
Yes, one person and greetings again. As we move forward as the legal entities representing the community here in Jamaica as well as Ethiopia in Shashemene, we manifest documentation as the key to our records as we move forward in our representation within rights.
I'll step back a bit, Prophet Greg, so we can see. Yeah.
Yes, we just want
Right
to know.
now.
You can hear us good though?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. We start with the quote of His Imperial Majesty at the launch of the OAU as we trek through history and time where the liberation struggle has pivoted itself. Africa has been reborn as a free continent, and Africans have been reborn as free men. The blood that was shed and the sufferings that were endured are today Africa's advocacy for freedom and unity. Those men who refused to accept the judgment passed upon them by the colonizers, who held unswervingly through the darkest hour to a vision of an Africa emancipated from political, economic, and spiritual domination, will be remembered and revered wherever Africa meets. Words of Emperor Haile Selassie I, Jah Rastafari, OAU inauguration. Ever since the first European slave ship invasion of Africa to the Americas, sanctioned by King Charles I of Spain in August 1518, the African struggles and victories for emancipation has been relentless. The first recorded victory happened during the Maroon War, where a treaty was signed between Captain Cudjoe and British Governor Colonel Edward Trelawney on March 1st, 1738-39 in Western Jamaica. The Haitian Revolution, beginning on August the 21st, 1791, was the only slave rebellion in human history that led to the foundation of a state. But the first significant battle and victory was the Battle of Adwa of March 1st, 1896, between Ethiopia and Italy, which stopped the colonial powers from fully carving up and checkerboarding the African continent, initiated by the Berlin Conference and Agreements of 1884. The repercussions of that defeat, we can assume, may add to the reasons why World War I commenced towards reshaping Europe's conquest for superpower. Ethiopia thwarted Italy's second invasion and war, beginning on October the 3rd, 1935. But this war, which breached the covenant of the League of Nations, triggered World War II, which Emperor Haile Selassie I prophesied to happen. The Emperor's Victor Day speech on May 5, 1941, in fulfilling another prophecy, invoked the final destiny towards Africa liberation. Princes and princesses shall come out of Egypt. Ethiopia shall stretch out her hands and heart unto God. Previously, as Crown Prince and Regent, Rastafari shaped Africans' liberation destiny in a message to the 3rd UNIA International Convention in Harlem, USA, headed by its president, Marcus Garvey. Tell the people to come home. Here is where the race originated. The Rastafari movement that became the vanguard of Africa's spiritual liberation from the 1930 grand coronation of Emperor Haile Selassie I and Empress Menen Asfa, held its first Nyahbinghi convention to address the pending formation of the West Indies Federation of March 1st, 1958, in demanding total emancipation to Africa, still being denied from 1838 unto this day. A telegram demanding repatriation was sent to Queen Elizabeth II by Prince Emmanuel Bonga Eddy on March the 20th as a conclusion of the convention. How significant it is, therefore, that the cosmic divine providence has aligned March 1st as a date for African liberation towards our divine destiny. The ensuing brutal confrontation between the Rastafari movement and the Jamaican colonial government, which early records dates to January of 1937, complete, beginning with the deification of Haile Selassie I, realized the first mission to Africa, sponsored by the state in April 1961 to investigate repatriation. The official 1962 technical report assenting the success of the mission that sought to settle the Rastafari movement on the Shashemene land grant of 1955 never materialized, being denied by the Jamaican Independence Prime Minister, the first one, August 6, 1962, and to this day. Not even the proposal by Emperor Haile Selassie I to the Jamaican Parliament on his visit in April 1966 to include the country as a political member of the OAU is accepted to date. In hindsight, the Emperor implored and commanded the Rastafari movement leadership that began expanding to these significant mansions, the 12 tribes of Israel, the theocracy reign under the Nyahbinghi, and centralized. Currently, two organizations with registered mandate pursue the task of organizing and centralizing the Rastafari movement under legal institutional structures are the Ethiopia Africa Diaspora Union Millennium Council, registered number 75126 in Jamaica, and the Jamaica Rastafari Development Community, the Jrdc, registered number 1746 in Ethiopia. The first communique email dated January 25, 2007 at 7:50 a.m. was issued by Eadumc to establish informal networking towards the Ethiopian Millennium Celebration, and that happened in the year 2000 for Ethiopia and 2007 in Jamaica. The entities continue to collaborate on the Rastafari Trust for Negotiation in 2009 through Brother Carl Philpott, the Mission to Hara in 2009, the Jrdc as a resource organization for Eadumc late Honorary Chairman Honorary Ross Bonivela in 2012 in facilitating his objectives towards repatriation in business development and communication with the Ethiopian government. He was in the active communication since the year 2000 with current JRDC Chairman Sidney Samuel, and pioneer Brother Flippins. Interacting continued via Sister Ijana up to her transitioning in community engagement, incorporating the JRDC. Eadumc continued its activism for the Rastafari community repatriation goals in presenting the Rastafari Economic Village Project to the Global Africa Diaspora Summit, South Africa, 2012, incorporating the protocols of intellectual property rights, intangible cultural heritage, and indigenous rights. In 2013, the Rastafari Nation Fundamental Rights for Repatriation and Reparation document was presented to CARICOM's first conference on reparation in answering the United Nations Durban Declaration and Program of Action in 2001 that helped to influence CARICOM's 2-point reparation agenda. Eadumc and the JRDC converged again very recently in September the 7th, 2025, just last year, to address the Africa Union and CARICOM's second conference in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, building on the agenda that was established in Nairobi in 2021, justice for Africans and people of African descent through reparation. Representatives from the United Nations Treaty Bodies Committees were also present, and the JRDC chairman, Sidney Samuel, delivered Eadumc documents to the relevant authorities and representatives. The stage is now set for Eadumc and the JRDC to formalize this very long-standing relationship. One perfect love and greetings to all. Sila. Give thanks. Your mic on you.
A blessed delivery and introduction. So we'll have a response from Brother Sidney.
Yeah, beloved. Give
Turn off the
thanks.
speaker, please.
Give thanks, Prophet Greg. I'm going to speak about quickly to support what the I say and to confirm with my brethren and sisters here and globally that what we are doing is not just the hands of man, but is actually the workings of the Almighty through the Holy Spirit. When the I mentioned about Brother Flippins and Brother Bunny Whaler, I was just a little hyper amongst Brother Flippins, a trainee, you would say to that matter. Still not yet full with the knowledge and the history of the tribe of Rastafari. My first meeting with Brother Bunny in that same house of Brother Flippins, I was starstruck. And I said, glad to meet you, Mr. Bunny Whaler. And him seeing that I was young in the faith, him said, you're Rasta? It felt like that it might sound like a rebuke, but it was awakening. Because amongst I and I movement over the years, there have been many stargazing. And Brother Bunny Whaler brought the seriousness and the depth of what it is that was coming. Since then, we pledged to work together. And me and my sister, my queen, Sister Leila Mokria, of that time, we were put together to work together through our beloved Crown Prince, His Imperial Highness Crown Prince Zari Jacob, as for Wasen Haile Selassie. Without even I understanding that there was a connection between what Brother Bunny Whaler was bringing and Brother Flippin was discussing and what the Crown Prince was envisioning. So it is no coincidence that we stand here today talking about our rights and our unity. It is what ordained. It was ordained from the foundation. So I look forward to following instructions from the elders and those who are before me. I'm also looking forward to the strength of my brethren and sisters here in Shashemene. Assist I, guide I, for I and I is I and I.
Aye.
Not a one-man thing. It's I and I. I would love to see the honor amongst I and I continue and strengthen. For in I and I is the I. And it's a oneness. Respect to each other. Speak to each other in a brotherly way. And a sisterly way too. Rebuke in a humble way. Less exaltation. And more brotherly love. One perfect love. And I give thanks. Selassie.
Rastafari.
Yes. Give thanks for that blessing and greeting. I'll now read out the press release that will be issued globally in relation to this union of Rastafari communities. Rastafari communities unite through Eadumc Jrdc collaboration as Rastafari Month in April and the 2030 centenary horizon approaches. Will be issued through Kingston, Jamaica, Shashemene, and Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. In the spirit of one love, one destiny, Rastafari brethren and sisters across Jamaica, Ethiopia, Africa, and the global diaspora mark a new step forward through the collaboration between the Ethiopian African Diaspora Union Millennium Council and the Jamaica Rastafari Development Community. This initiative emerges from the living history of Rastafari, a movement grounded in faith, resistance, culture, and the enduring call toward Africa. Its launch aligns with sacred historical moments that continue to guide Rastafari consciousness. The victory of the Battle of Adwa, March 1 to 3, 1896, a symbol of African sovereignty and resistance. The 1738 Maroon Treaty, affirming African and self-determination in Jamaica. And the first Rastafari Foundation, 1958 in Kingston, where collective reasoning shaped the modern movement. Together, these moments affirm Rastafari's long tradition of organizing through spiritual governance, cultural expression, and community responsibility. We're honoring the elders who carried the mission. This initiative honors the continued work of elders whose lives embodied Rastafari advocacy through music, philanthropy, and global reasoning. The Honorable Neville O'Reilly Livingston, professionally known as Boniwela, whose lifelong mission advanced Rastafari philosophy, community governance, and cultural sovereignty, and Ras Denroy Morgan, whose international musical and humanitarian works strengthened unity throughout the African diaspora and the continent. Through music and service, these elders carried Rastafari consciousness across borders, establishing foundations, now guiding a new phase of collective development. They are honored here today because they both transitioned as ancestors, the Honorable Boniwela on March 2nd and Ras Denroy Morgan on March 3rd. Carrying the baton forward, artist leadership across generations. As Rastafari moves forward, a new generation continues the responsibility of cultural and spiritual leadership. Sidney Salmon, musician, cultural organizer, and current chair of JRDC, together with his Imperial Majestic Band, represents the living continuation of Rastafari musical mission work, strengthening connections between Jamaica, Ethiopia, and the African diaspora through sound, education, and community engagement. His Imperial Majestic Band functions not only as a performing ensemble, but as a cultural vehicle supporting heritage initiatives and community development aligned with Rastafari principles. Alongside this leadership stands Rasizla Kalonji, whose lifelong artistic and community contributions embody the generational transmission of Rastafari responsibility. Through music, youth mentorship, and international cultural advocacy, Sizzler continues the artist leader tradition established by the movement's leaders. Upliftment. In this stead, we honor the centenary of Count Ozzy and the mystic revelation of Rastafari. Count Ozzy is celebrating his 100th Earth Strong on March 26th. A central milestone within this movement and this moment is the centenary of Count Ozzy, 1926 to 2026, and the enduring legacy of the mystic revelation of Rastafari. Celebrated annually on March 26th, Count Ozzy's birth represents the spiritual and musical foundation from which Rastafari sound entered global consciousness through Nyahbinghi drumming and sacred reasoning. His work bridged Africa and Jamaica through rhythm, establishing the heartbeat that would later give rise to ska, reggae, and the worldwide cultural influence of Rastafari music. The 2026 centenary therefore stands as a herald of both Rastafari Month in April and the wider centenary timeline leading to 2030, recognizing music heritage as a primary vessel of Rastafari philosophy and identity. Rastafari Month, as April, advanced through community advocacy and international cultural engagement, serves as a living platform of history, spiritually, and policy reflection. The month carries significant historical markers grounded by the visit of His Imperial Majesty to Jamaica on April 21st, 1966. It includes the birthday of Bunny Wailer on April 10th, and the birthday of Sizzler Kalonji on April 17th, and milestones connected to the recognition of reggae as UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage. Rastafari Month therefore functions as both celebration and working space, where culture, advocacy, and future planning meet. The JRDC and the Ethiopian Connection. The Jamaica Rastafari Development Community brings decades of grounded work within Ethiopia, particularly through the Rastafari community centered in Shashemene, alongside engagement in Addis Ababa and emerging heritage initiatives connected to Harar. JRDC represents the lived reality of repatriation, translating vision into daily community development, cultural preservation, and institutional engagement. Together with Eadumc, this collaboration strengthens direct community-to-community cooperation between Jamaica and Africa. Rastafari philosophy has always moved through music, from Nyahbinghi drums to reggae and global sound systems. Music remains the voice through which Rastafari teaches, organizes, and sustains community life. The collaboration therefore explores the development of a Rastafari music trust designed to protect community intellectual property, support artists and cultural workers, strengthen heritage institutions, and ensure cultural value benefits the Rastafari community collectively. This reflects long-standing vision advanced by the Honorable Bunny Wailer and other elders for trust-based cultural stewardship linking Jamaica, Ethiopia, and Africa. And this trust-based stewardship is grounded in the Honorable Bunny Wailer's will and trust that his legacy must perform these works. Thinking towards 2030, towards the coronation centenary. Looking forward, the 2030 coronation centenary of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I. This initiative advances under the shared banner of Think 2030, a journey towards repatriation, reparative justice, cultural sovereignty, youth education, and sustainable community development. Think 2030 builds upon decades of reasoning and advocacy already carried forward by Rastafari communities worldwide. This leads to a call to unity, from Nyahbinghi drums to global stages, from elders to new generation. Rastafari continues to organize, create, and uplift humanity through faith and culture. As Rastafari Month in April unfolds and the centenary era approaches, the call remains clear. Organize, strengthen the community, carry the mission forward. This is issued in the spirit of Rastafari Month by communities working through the collaboration of Eadumc and the Jrdc and Rastafari brethren and sisters across Africa and the diaspora. So this will be issued after the launch to media across globally and nationally. And it will be the launch of Rastafari Month outside of Jamaica, going into our communities globally. Rastafari Month, this is the 10th annual celebration of Rastafari Month in Jamaica. It's the 60th anniversary of the visit of His Imperial Majesty into Jamaica, and I'm sure we'll speak more on the details of Rastafari Month as the launch progresses. So next, Sister Layla will speak more specifically on the call for action that the MOU has outlined that we will be working between now, or have been working since last year, October, actually, and through to 2030. So I'll turn over now to Sister Layla to go through the call for action.
Salam. So good to be here. It's basically, you all know me. I'm working with the JRDC, with Brother Sydney, on many different levels. So the 5-year action plan, to just briefly go through it, even though it's short words, you know, it takes time to implement things. So the implementing plan, you took away. There you go. Yeah. Is she? Yeah. Yes. So from 2025 until 2030, it has been drafted. In 2025 and 2026, we started with the drafting of the MOU, signing of the MOU, and then now it's linking the mansions and together with JRDC trying to form more something like what is called an Eadumc. If you know it, you've lived here long enough in Ethiopia, an Eadumc is what they use to sustain a community in development. So the launch pilot projects will be between the 2026 to 2027. It will be really working on.
I'm sorry, Sister Leila, they're not hearing you front on there, so.
Oh,
so I can get move it. I'll give it some light.
Speak up. Mike.
Envy. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, let them see you.
Can you hear now?
Yeah, that's good.
There is she.
Don't turn it back. Turn it around.
So From 2026 to 2027, we plan to launch repatriation advocacy and networking. So trying to work with the lawyer and make more progress. Cultural heritage, IP licensing, establishing physical and virtual museum. Eadumc project as an informal association, which is going to be the second big project of the JRDC. Explore means of setting up agriculture and nutraceutical trade. So this is within the coming 2026-2027 plans.
Hold on 1 second. Brethren, hold on 1 second. Brethren, if you can't hear, just come forward now. No, the mic for them to hear is right here, so if they're not hearing, cannot step forward, that is no problem.
I'll show it to you.
And you'll get a copy of it as well.
Not a copy, but Eshi, scale joint initiatives with AU and CARICOM, harmonize Shashemene governance pathways. And of course, this is all leading up in 2027 to 2028, leading up to 2029 and 2030, where consolidating outcomes, showcasing achievements, and reporting the SDG impacts to AU, UN, and CARICOM. So along the way, there's key performance indicators that we've set up. For example, by 2026, we're trying to set up the Rastafari Music Trust, making sure that is established, alongside the Eadumc and museum projects being developed. So each year, leading up to 2030, there's going to be on November 2nd, a Zoom conference to synthesize the Rastafari community globally. So this will all lead up in 2027, like I said, to properly functioning the projects that we want to launch here. As you know, Sydney already mentioned it lightly. There's the setting up of the medical, trying to support our members that way. There's the burial ground and other projects that we're trying to set up. So those are the first things that we're trying to accomplish. So in short, this is what it looks like. And it will be available in the mansions and will be in progress. So you'll see it shortly.
Give thanks.
Give thanks.
Okay, great. Could you at this time just speak of Rastafari Month, April, why it matters?
Yeah.
There's a document that we have here that you could read from, or well, speak first, and then I will actually read the document.
Well, give thanks, Sister Maxine, blessed love and greetings to all again. As you know, this is our 10th anniversary in focusing on the Rastafari History Month as an advocacy campaigning linking to how the Jamaica government established a creative city status where Kingston was recognized because of the nature of the culture that has impacted and catapulted that sort of energies worldwide. And using the visit of the Emperor on his 50th anniversary visit in April, we had taken up the initiative to start that framework in the launch of the Rastafari Month. As Sister Martina said, the activities beginning in April 1st, going through the history, is actually the ecclesial spiritual year that the Black House of Israel began their year celebration as the month of Abib. So even the significant
The speaker
carried on the tradition. So we see itemize the actual elevation of the emperor when Empress Zadi II passed away on April the 2nd, 1930, to start the procedures to elevate the emperor towards his coronation in November 1930 to be established as the leadership within the Ethiopian throne room setting. So that also is a significant. The April the 3rd is actually the earth stamp of Empress Mene Asfa to show the balance within the settings of all the energies moving through what this month has converged when it comes to the whole culture, the faith and culture of Rastafari, captivated by this very month, the activities thereof. The 4th of April represents the anniversary of the actual visit mission to Africa, which started the whole conversation of the unification into even very much how the technical report has came to the fore, the official report looking at settling the Rastafari movement on the Shashemene land grant of 1955. So all of these history now is converging as we move forward. Within the week's other activities, Sister Maxine mentioned the Earth Strongs, Japoni Wheeler, as well as the ancient icon and our second honorary chairman, as well as the president of Indigenous President Cesar Colombia on the 17th. But very even significant before that, there is also the ganja being looked into, the recognition of the sacramental as well as the medicinal rollout for the ganja industry took place in April. I believe that was 10 years ago. And we are still advocating those rights where the priesthood order must become recognized within the sacramental framework, which our advocacy will logic further within the realization of what sacramental means, as how it also is recognized internationally. So these are other matters coming through. We know for certainty that the 4 days celebration of our Diamond Jubilee occasion of the visit of the Emperor is located between the 21st and up to the 24th of April. We will definitely be having a grand celebration for our Diamond Jubilee visit to cement the continuity of the advocacy of the Rastafari community and the movement. And I would say, I know Sister Maxine will pick up the few things that we are focusing same way. But the last week is actually the global celebration of the Intellectual Property Week, organized and orchestrated to WIPO, the World Intellectual Property Right Organization, where we engage all of these advocacy of rights, indigenous rights, intellectual property rights, and the like, and intangible cultural heritage to move forward towards cementing the governance structure, moving to a trust mechanism where we are indicated now we are looking to see how the Rastafari Music Trust will take up that uptake to bring together again the funders of the Rastafari community, organizing and centralizing. So to take a good look at the events that converge in this month of April, I am very certain that the activities, anniversary activities in this month has captured all of the Rastafari faith and culture significant celebration to be worthy to be called our Rastafari month in moving forward. So give thanks. So those are the few words of the recapping of what it signified. There's also, I would say, the first One Love concert, peace concert that was done. I believe that was April 2022. But I'm very sure that Sister Maxine will continue the edification of what this month represents. So one perfect love again. to ones and ones. Give thanks.
Yes, give thanks for that, Prophet Greg. And just to the advisory that will be going out with the press release in relation to Rastafari Month in April is a call to action for reparation, repatriation, and restoration. From coronation 1930, the visit to Jamaica 1966, and towards Africa. So why April matters? April marks the convergence of defining moments in Rastafari history. The coronation of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, the 1966 visit to Jamaica, and the living call to repatriation, dignity, and African self-determination. Rastafari Month is not only remembrance, it is responsibility. The call, as we observe the 60th anniversary of the visit and move forward toward the coronation centenary of 2030, we call upon the Rastafari community, institutions, youth, elders, and the African diaspora to act collectively in this time. The 4 action areas: repatriation, support physical, cultural, economic, and institutional return to Africa; reparations, advance cultural, spiritual, and economic repair rooted in African sovereignty; education and culture, preserve Rastafari history, knowledge, and intellectual property; and for sustainable development, build community-led models aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, also platform as 2030. The April 2026 key events will be the Rastafari Month opening, reasoning, and blessing, which we will this year converge with the centenary of Count Ozzy, as that is a very important marker and signal for us this year. He actually transitioned also in 1976, so that's 50 years ago that Count Ozzy passed. So this year is a very important milestone year. The 1966 Ethiopia, and so we'll seek to combine both, and we'll be instituting various, especially through, that we'll be working on, which is 1976 is the year that the Wailers all released significant solo albums when they went solo from being a group. So 3 albums: Rastaman Vibration with Bob Marley, Legalize It with Peter Tosh, and Black Heart Man with the Honorable Bonnie Wailer, will be a tribute to those 3 albums, will be designed and integrated to support the aims and objectives of this MOU, and that 1976 and 2026 is a very important year and a signal globally to how our music, led by the Wailers at the highest level, has been expressing the gospel of Rastafari, and all these intellectual property issues that have arisen through the spread of the music, us now harnessing all that energy through our Rastafari Music Trust. And we will be, this year, coincidentally, Brother Sidney Salmon and his Imperial Majestic Band released an album titled Andromeda, and that linked the music further to Ethiopian art and science at the highest level. And so the combination of these musical projects, along with Rasisla Kalonji, who we are working together to put together all of his catalog towards Africa and repatriation, a 50-track album as well, or a playlist at minimum. All of these musical works will be headlined by this MOU and be a driver for the establishment of the Music Trust as we, since the millennium actually, it's interesting, since 2007, we have made a call to the Rastafari artists out of Jamaica and through the world to contribute to a vehicle that would support and identify to the world that has taken up our culture that there is a place that our goodwill can receive in measure what we have given to the world to strengthen our community, right? So we think 2030, yes. So we think that 2030, and we make that 2030, realizes this vision because this is a spiritual alignment. I think earlier on March 1st, there was actually a spiritual alignment of planets that actually also inspired us that this alignment that we're now engaging, as Brother Sidney said, is very divine in its outcome. And the fact that we've been working 20 years towards this actual linkage of the music to the culture beneficially, which I must also note, 1977 was a major spiritual musical year for the music of reggae, where some of the most, I know as a community, we were looking for major things to happen when the 4/7s clashed, 7/7, 1977. And so this project is also going to bring together the music of 1977, the 50th anniversary of that music for 2027, to continue to power our initiative going forward. So we have a lot of unseen, but what they call intangible. Intangible is what is there, but it's not seen. So this is really, really a powerful engagement of ones. It's not just who we see here on camera. This is a lot of the elders that we worked with in 2007. I have to acknowledge, they have transitioned practically as age, as ancestral development occurs within our community. And all of those elders, even the grounds that we stand on at Judgment Yard in Jamaica was significantly developed by these elders. And, I have to acknowledge them here. Can't call all of their names. Maybe ones in Jamaica can call out their names. But yeah, I, significantly feel them now. It's probably about 20 or 30 elders representing a major transition of ancestors in the Rastafari movement have stepped up, and who we personally carry. I know the ones may know several that recently went to South Africa and are planted there, and their vision was to reach Ethiopia, from South Africa. And so we carried their energy also into this union. and, empowering this, forward. So we look to all the ones here, to remember that we carry, on our shoulders, and we carry their strength towards this fulfillment. As Rastidne said, I am sure, I'm positive, based on our collective works for the last 20 years for sure. This is not just, as Prophet Greg said in his introduction, my first, in preparing for the Ethiopia Millennium, before even the council was formally registered, as a steering committee, we worked with the JRDC in bringing this together. So this is a 20-year trod that is coming, into fulfillment. And like I said, much of the elders that were with us 20 years ago are not with us now, but we fully carry their spirit. So with that, Prophet Greg, you haven't, not sure what's next on the agenda. I'm supposed to actually speak to a tribute to the Honorable Ras Boniwela and Ras Denroy Morgan, just further cementing their transition will always be linked to the Battle of Adwa, as they chose, or the divine chose, that they would transit the earthly state on March 2nd and March 3rd. So every time, they're celebrated, it will be within this victory, and certainly within the celebration of the launch of this MOU. So the Honorable Boniwela, he, out of the three whalers, I have him, describe him as the keeper of the faith. The three of them worked as a spiritual organization, not simply as a group, like a musical group. They were ordained by the elders of Trenchtown to change their name from the teenagers or the juveniles to the whalers. And they grew and were anointed by the elders to carry the message of Rastafari out. And they did an immense job, both as a group and even as individually. They went as individual members of the whalers, carrying the same message, carrying the same Rastafari aims and objectives in what is termed as their solo careers. But they always remained whalers. So whalers, we claim whalers as the gospel of Rastafari. And our work is to enshrine their work within our culture, that it's not merely economic or musical to the world, but we as Rastafari, and this was put forward in the will and trust of the Honorable Boniwela, that his legacy must be used in law to continue the advocacy towards repatriation in Ethiopia, and to build the music trust across Africa, and also, just all of his symbols, all of his memorabilia, all of this work must be dedicated towards the Nyahbinghi order and the Nyahbinghi guidelines. Those are written in law, and that is not subject to family or government. That was his, and his action, it will help to center the works of the other whalers as it relates to Rastafari, which is separate from what they relate to their respective earthly families. So his activation, and I certainly feel spiritually that this MOU is actually an outcome of his wishes towards that. He was very serious. In fact, a lot of the work that I do is to remind people that because he was the keeper of the faith, he didn't engage in a lot of linkages with the commercial world, and his standards were very much keeping ownership of his music and not giving too much of his essence to commercialization. He's looked, in working with him, he's looked, working in the market, I'm a music industry executive, he's described as not doing enough work in the industry. But we'll see, he wasn't doing the work in the industry, he was doing the work in his community. His level of philanthropy and support for the Rastafari community of Jamaica is legendary, and that, as that would be one of the reasons or inspirations for our museum project, to make sure that we link the music to the culture, because what has happened is that reggae is now de-linked from the Rastafari culture. And so the essence of our music is now being used to describe other commercial things that have nothing to do with Rastafari. Even within our music industry, reggae is used to describe ska, all of the other genres, and so this work that we're doing is it's very, very important, because reggae as a noun belongs to us, but reggae as an adjective has been taken and is overpowering the noun, to almost like being excluded, which is one of the reasons why Rastafari Month was developed, was to regain the Rastafari cultural connection to the music, which is why we highlight the Earth Strongs of the Honorable Bunny Wailer and Ras Sidla Kalonji, to link it to Reggae Month, which is February, which is linked to the Honorable Bob Marley. So we had to anchor the Rastafari culture back to the music, because technically Reggae Month is linked to the adjective reggae and not to the noun of the culture. So you find that I can say the only significant celebration of Rastafari culture, I don't even think there aren't any. There really aren't any significant expressions of Rastafari culture in Reggae Month. So the importance of Rastafari Month is in establishing and linking to the birthdays of the Honorable Bunny Wailer and Rasizla Kalonji, is to link forward the Rastafari culture to the music and further protect that earlier this month, we saw the whole issue of the Jamaican people coming out to say that why was the Rastafari color incorporated in the football team's jersey? It was a big outcry from the national Jamaicans that the Rastafari culture was imposed on their national team. And we, since 2017, have been telling the Jamaican government and the Ministry of Culture that they should not merge the Rastafari colors into the Jamaican colors, which they did in 2017, to try, post their involvement in the 50th anniversary visit and post their knowledge that we as Rastafari were seeking our own development of ownership of our culture. So it is critical for us to understand the necessity and the purpose of Rastafari Month to regain back our ownership of the music named reggae, right? And to be able to defend by educating the world. You understand that the reggae that is often spoken of is being delinked from our culture, right? So that's very important in relation to the Honorable Bunny Wailer anchoring in our application to the government, because this Rastafari Month was applied to the Governor General, the Prime Minister, and it was used because the only way that reggae could have gotten its UNESCO declaration was because we submitted our Rastafari identity to the application. And in fact, they didn't bring it forward in Geneva when they applied for it, and they were refused. And I think 2 states, Palestine and Cuba, gave them a second chance to come up, you know, to insert the application. And Rastafari Month specifically was engaged to support the application. And it's because of Rastafari Month being engaged why Jamaica got the Reggae Intangible Cultural Heritage Award. So we have to be vigilant to know that the system is seeking to de-link our culture from it in order to continue to get the type of benefits that they're getting through this attachment. And so the work of the Honorable Bunny Wailer in, you know, applying to UNESCO, in giving over his work and his acclamation is central to our fight for cultural sovereignty. Similarly, Roy Morgan, his work with us on the council, and he's a relative of mine in the sense that we share 7 grandchildren together, you know, and we came together in 2006-07 as well, when our first grandchild was born. And his centralizing at the time was to bring together the 12 tribes of Israel through the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, the Nyahbinghi Ancient Council through the elders, the Church of North and South America. And that's when I first entered into the organizing and centralizing of the community. And for the 20 years almost 20 years, we consistently worked on those principles, and he consistently heralded that work and put that through his family. You know, he has a large musical family as well that continues to carry this work forward. So the fact that they both transitioned again within the Battle of Adwa, and this union that we see now, I see it all as very, you know, very important, and will certainly be credited and developed further as we move towards 2030. We can be assured that the legacies of these 2 families and the Wailers, along with Rasizla Kalonji and the leading the youth forward, you know, we have them as our soldiers in our army going forward. So that's my tribute.
Give thanks.
Russ Greg, you can.
Yes. To give thanks, I Selassie, Rastafari. I give thanks, Sister Maxine. At this moment, we welcome again Brother Sid to come forward with the Jrdc, and even the ones gathered, if they seek further clarity where this union will take us in going forward, or even a few questions to give clarity if they are available at this time. So, Brother Sidney, we turn it over to you. Kate, there is issues or questions of clarity that is required at this time from I community gathering as to the way forward. One perfect love, give thanks again for the presentation, Sister Maxine.
Selassie, Virgin and sister, in the ear clearly what was spoken, and even though we had a little discontinuation in the sound, in the spirit, which is understanding, and understanding the spirit, we should understand what was being said. Now, nevertheless, for those who might not have been here at the beginning or even had the chance to reason with our brother Ras Jalala, we welcome any questions, any clarity that you might seek, any doubt in the mind about what you just heard. Because, brethren, let me explain something to the Eadumc, which the Eadumc probably know. It's not the first time Rastafarians have tried to come together and work together. It's not the first. But ours is a struggle. It's a struggle, and sometimes the struggle happens, it's not necessarily from Babylon, who we might blame sometimes. The problem is the struggle from within ourselves. Sometimes to move, as Brother Carl Philpott had mentioned in the night before, at the first night, to move a table from one point to another point amongst us can become so difficult. But regardless of what we see, what we believe, and how we do things, unity requires understanding. Today we prayed, and the high priest faced the east. And I pray again, and we face the north. Jah is in every direction.
Every direction.
Jah is in every direction. So is Jah is in I, and I, and I, and I. If there's any questions the item would like to ask for clarity, I ask the brethren them to step forward and ask the relevant questions, because the ones who are qualified to answer is right here in front of us, coming from the foundation. So, brethren and sisters, is there anything you'd like to ask, say? Step forward now. Yeah, step forward, by lad. Stand right there, son.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, for the ones in there in Jamaica, they still. My name is Ras Kamba. Come out of Holborn Paran, which is Montserrat, born in England. Live here now 34 years. I go on, see? Come here as a youth. Now, we just have to ask one question still. I'm not going to ask too much question and disrupt nothing, but just historical. I love the history. For years and years, every time we come around to the April 21st visit of Majesty, Jamaica, I would say, is just Jamaica alone. And man leave out the original first part of the history that Dr. Eric Williams from Trinidad and Tobago is the man who invite Majesty to Trinidad and Tobago first. Then the Jamaican government asks for the visit will extend to Jamaica. And while ones in the Jamaica wait for Majesty to come, and according to how airlines run, they run by time. Done. Well, he happened so that for about 3 hours, the plane never land or never reach Jamaica. And once I wonder what I go on. One for including the history say, well, the plane was made a trip from Trinidad into Barbados for 3 hours to visit the, I think it's the Archbishop of the Orthodox Church in Barbados before he went to Jamaica. So once them deal with the Rastafari month, man for deal with everything that the history budget is not just Jamaica alone, it's the whole Caribbean. See, so I just my few words that a Mount Power me come from out of the volcano rock. See, so man have to do the things right and straight. Rastafari, Selassie.
Yeah, give thanks. Yes.
You want to give a response, Prophet Girl, before?
Yeah, I would just like to give a first encounter. Do give thanks for that clarification. I believe what is really essential to map the journey, it has to even, believe it or not, all of this visitation actually began from 1958 convention, because that convention of March 1st, 1958, addressing the West Indies Federation election that captivate what you know called CARICOM. We, as the Rastafari anciency, gathered with the Nyahbinghi order for the first convention to oppose the West Indies Federation, and as we indicated, by March the 20th, Bongo Eddie sent a telegram to the Queen of England demanding repatriation. No one's made that know, but what transpired afterwards is the persecution and the burning down of Bakawad, where that convention was really located. It actually went to court the following year, and Barrister Evans defended the Rastafari community advocacy within the convention, and it was a great victory because even the said barrister defended the Mama uprising in Kenya. It is out of that settings and the cry of the persecution that took place, because there is even Reverend Henry atrocities, which will not go too deep into the history, but basically it is what that caused now the intervention of the society to look into the plight of the Rastafari community, and the government from there spent £12,000 to send a delegation to 5 African countries investigating the matter of repatriation. So the fundamentals of the mission, really, as much as how the 9 delegates that went, the community was, as how Sister Maxine had indicated, the importance of the mystic revelation of Rastafari. It was majority those individuals from that mansion that took up the mantle in representing the investigation before the technical report of official report of 1962 that sought to settle the Rastafari community and the land grant in Shashemene. So basically, as the headquarters of where the foundation of the culture, the faith and culture rise within its official settings, Jamaica took the lead within the advocacy towards the continuation for repatriation. Because of the natural nature of things, the emperor told that delegation that he would visit the country in short terms and look into it. Because remember, even the delegate went into other African territories who are to seek that sort of coordination between those countries and what was being demanded coming out of the settings that took place in Jamaica. So we are not saying that we are leaving out the history, certainly not. We are saying the advocacy just from how it comes from Jamaica ought to be taken up as well from Trinidad and Barbados, where it is fitting that they give a discourse as well, where that journey connected. But the foundation of it, of how the initiation started, that history is located in Jamaica. So this is my part of the explanation, not a matter of exclusion, but a matter of how the continuity and the fundamentals were being engaged to bring it to the fullness of what was transpiring at the time. So Sister Maxine, give thanks. That is my coverage of it.
Well, I'm currently, like I said, in New York, and just like what the brethren is speaking of, I think that's the work of our museum project to widen the view, meaning you need to see the center, but you need to see the other parts that make the center exist. And oftentimes, we, based on the history and based on the struggle and the fight, we have to concentrate ourselves to be able to resist. But at this stage, and as we move towards the coronation platform of 2030, certainly the history in the Caribbean, we understand why His Imperial Majesty went to Trinidad based on the governmental openness of Eric Williams versus the type of government that was in place in Jamaica. We're kind of going through that today now with Andrew Holness versus Mia Mottley, or look at what the lady in Trinidad is doing. So we, again, in expressing ourselves going forward, especially to the coronation, which we know is a global coronation affecting African descendants across the nations, right? Again, I said I'm here in New York, and I'm aware of the great history of His Imperial Majesty in Harlem and also in Chicago, you know, two of the major cities that have the African descendants here in America. So as the brethren expresses himself, I fully appreciate what Prophet Greg says about the center of Jamaica, but it's a center within the world of the African diaspora that the Imperial Majesty affected and continues to affect. And that history is what we want to bring forward, you know, for and represent for the coronation, but we need spaces, you know, designed so that we can show the full impact of why it occurred. Because, you know, in doing the research of the centenary, Marcus Garvey, Leonard Howell, significant persons, His Imperial Majesty, etc., and Ethiopian in general, was concentrated in the Harlem Renaissance. And so we have to see the movement of our people, not located specifically about geography, because I think the geography of Jamaica being where it is has a lot to do with why the concentration occurred there as the largest English-speaking country in the Caribbean, closest to the power center of, you know, the European, the colonial people. So our museum curation will not only express the Jamaica reality, but how Jamaica's reality is connected because we as a people don't rest in Jamaica. It's our movement through the world. You understand? Unless Marcus Garvey went into Panama, you know, that's a movement of a people who are all, and then from Panama went into Harlem. You know what I mean? So we must watch the movement. And as our people are now in Shashemene, we are addressing them there. It's a movement of our people. So, you know, we'll be able to express ourselves more collectively and assuredly of what Jamaica represents to all. That it's not simply, you know, a standard that is seeking to be unique in itself. Its history represents all of our history, because we are all moving together, and you know, we just have to collectivize that way.
Yeah, give thanks. Give thanks for that response, Sister Maxine. Is there anyone, any other I would like to ask a question? Ras Jalala.
Give thanks, my Lord.
Yes,
Give thanks and praises. Yeah, man, greetings to one and all in the mighty name of Haile Selassie the First. Rastafari. Yeah, man, family of Rastafari in Shashemene at the moment. Let me take the time and congratulate the Eadumc, especially starting with Racine and his honorable wife, and the Jrdc Foundation that has stood up brave enough consistently to defend something that the Rastafari community has been fighting from its existence for collective security, for surety, organized and centralized. So I really honor the Eadumc, and to turn to Eadumc, Sister Maxine, Prophet Greg, Kremlin, Kush, First World, Priest Brown. It's an honor to see the consistency where the Eadumc continually demonstrate to fight throughout the years of the battle against the government of Jamaica and the rest of the Rastafari lookalikes. Because there was many, but they played their role too. And in honoring all the ancient them, because many fall since the battle. As they them say, the battle of Adwa, energy of flow. I have to honor all of them, the do-gooders and do-badders. They all play a part in it to bring it to this, where I and I is now. So honor and glory, and I pray that the Eadumc continue to unite, to fulfill the mission, because the struggle from the beginning, and the struggle continue. So, congratulations to the Eadumc. Honor. Yeah. That's the bless I can say for now. Honor to the Eadumc.
And I man honor this virgin.
Give thanks.
I honor this virgin.
Give thanks.
I honor this virgin because
Likewise.
this virgin reach out to I and the Jrdc when we never know these histories, some of us. Well, I personally. And it's through his explanation, edification, that I was inspired. So, honor is due to who honor is due. Big respect, Rastafari.
Likewise to the Eadumc. Yeah, Rastafari. Love.
Is there anyone, any other brethren who would like to say something, a question you'd like to ask? Because we're moving forward, and when we're moving forward, we don't want, when we're moving forward, we are groaning round the back. So what you want to say now?
Hey.
Selassie.
Giving thanks to the moment, man. Rafi Elisha. Right. Yes, sir. Yeah. Giving thanks to one and all. You know, it's a joy to be a part of this, to hear the unification of I and I. Long overdue. Giving enough thanks. But time is of the essence. You know, 2013, we say 4 years away. That's not long, that's tomorrow. Money. Value, I like talk money. Because the US and the pounds in Ethiopia, how you put it? You see the value in Ethiopia of their English pound and the American dollars. They in Jamaica have contact with all the musicians them. It would be nice to see them. But if they want to go to England and America and perform and send 10% home, that would be great. 10% could do a lot, you know, because we know everybody has to be paid. So 10% is good. I just would like to share that because time is of the essence. Money needs to be made, things need to, you know, we need to be a part of the development. Shashemene is developing, and it's only money going to do it. Now we found that unity, the unity, let's put it to work. Time is of the essence. Rastafari.
Selassie. Yes, sir. Give thanks, Virgin.
Yeah, man.
Touch. Give the Virgin a round of applause, please. All glory be to God.
Yeah, man.
But real talk. Real talk. Sister Maxine, brother Prophet Greg, you want to address that?
We do give thanks. Another one coming to speak. Or should I go ahead?
Yes, go forward.
Sid, answer them.
That's it. It's on the phone.
One perfect now?
Yes, one perfect. Go forward, Raz.
Yeah, respond.
Yes, go ahead.
We're looking at response.
No, they're not hearing.
Against it, against it.
We're looking at response, beloved, to that Virgin.
They did already say.
They did? What did he say?
All right, mute it.
The development and what we need to do in moving forward cannot be underestimated nor even overestimated. It is something that goes to the very heart of the essential thing that needs to be done. However, when you're looking at the settings of establishing the proper governance structure